Live.
I'm just about to kick it, man. I'm just about to press the button. So,
Alright, let's do it.
yeah, that'll be enough delay, and I can just kick the button now. What pre? I have already previewed you.
I kind of left it
I
out.
mean, you got enough pre. There you go. City Battles, real talk. I'm
Going
here
on?
with Bamalam. Introduce yourself, fella. Let them know. Let them know who
What's
you are.
going on? It's Bamalam. You've probably seen me on YouTube many a time, fucking up hosting, fucking up people in battles, fucking up what I'm saying most of the time the camera is on. Like, check out my, I'm gonna go straight away into a plug or whatever. Check out the EP coming soon. Like, we'll talk a little bit about that at some point and stuff. But yeah, let's get into this.
It's good, man. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being on, bro. I'm going to go to the Twitter questions and the Facebook questions that everyone wants asked in a minute, but I'm going to start with the usual way I do. How do you get into your music and your battle team, man?
How did I get into it?
Yeah.
For me, yeah, it's like battling came from music, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the first thing. And it's like pretty much going back a long time. I'd say like the start of it or whatever is obviously listening to so much, just growing up or whatever. Like heavy influence, like of just generally music and stuff was my dad. Like for like, you know, a considerable amount of time. And then obviously like once he like sort of like split from my mum or something, even when I used to go around to his or something, he'd always have some sort of new music to show me or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's very conscious about like all of that sort of stuff. So there's always a big influence of music in my life, and like predominantly hip hop and mainly reggae, but then a lot of garage and like sort of like up tempo shit like that. And that's how I kind of got into it. Like the first thing I think when I look back on it, there's two things I always remember. One, playing PS2 and having a bunch of fucking CDs, like instrumental CDs, like just any like classic. Think of like, you know, fucking like, let's say about around '98, like any sort of like fucking hip hop tune that was in the charts at that point in time, like, do you know what I mean, like, or whatever, like all of those instrumentals on one thing, and just naturally without even thinking about it, just you just start. I don't know how to put it, just start rapping, like just to them, like because you've seen like the examples and stuff, like obviously of people rapping, and it starts you just kind of like you learn the intricacy of lyrics and like how to put together a flow and stuff just by emulation, you know, just rapping along with songs at first point. But then I just like, without even know, like, you know, not like without knowing it was freestyle, but you know, just got to the point where I just always like just rap on instrumentals, like just off the top sort of thing while I was playing games. So you rap about what's going on in the game, whatever. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And then when we did, like, this is when I'm like year 5 and shit, do you know what I mean? So by the time year 6, which is like, I think you're like 11, 12,
Yeah.
I think you're going like secondary 13. So by that point, like, we did the end of year show, which I'm sure everyone does in year 6, which is a performance. And ours happened to be, because we had some fucking weirdo teacher called Pablo, but like shout-outs to him. He wanted to do the Jungle Book in like an urban form, so it's like the urban Jungle Book, but you know, the urban jungle, so on and so forth. So the role I went for was to be one of the monkeys, and you know, whole King Louis thing. But the way I did that was rapping a verse, because they wanted rappers for the scene, because he had this whole idea that they'd be like the kind of gangster rappers, blah blah whatever. So I did that, and he said, "Oh, I picked you because your projection is really loud, like, and so on and so forth, and you have a very clear voice for it, so that's why I put you on." So we're doing the show, second night of the show, because it ran for 3 nights, so all the different parents could come see it, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We're doing the show, and midway through we had these wireless mics, and then they cut out, like, and like I just remember like it was mine, because how it played out is like we all had different parts in it, and there's this part where me and one of my good friends actually had this like kind of back-to-back sort of part, and I remember it cutting and him just looking at me kind of like, and I just started rapping anyway, like, do you know what I mean, like fuck it, the mic don't work, whatever, and we just kept
Sure,
it going.
it's got
And
to
then,
go on, man, innit?
yeah, exactly, and then from that point on, over like the 6 weeks holiday and whatever, going into school, into secondary school or whatever, I remember, and shout out anyone that remembers this, I remember I got that fucking EJ production program. If anyone remembers that shit, where you can make little beats and shit just with loops and stuff like that. So I started to get into that, and then I remember me and my friends, one day in the 6 weeks holiday, like started putting like little tunes together with the little mic that I had for the computer and stuff like that, evolving, and let's say by the point where I'm like 15, I've been doing this kind of silently to a degree in my house or whatever, like, and then the whole kind of grime, like this when Dizzy Rascal was getting big and shit like that, like grime started to take over and everyone starts like spitting in school, in the playgrounds, like clashes start happening, all of this sort of thing. And still my confidence wasn't 100%, but I basically ended up taking on the role of being like the school student, like, you know, we'd all just go back to mine, like me and like 15 people after school, and we'd record like we made like a mixtape in the fucking afternoon. That's how much members we had and stuff. You know what I mean? And then for the next like 2 months or whatever, all of the tunes, and even I jumped on some of them and stuff, all of the tunes are just being in circulation around school and blah, 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 and so on. I always did this up until like the age of like about 16. I always had like a studio space in my house, and I worked with so much different people. And it just kept evolving, like, do you know what I mean? So I started off heavily on grime, and eventually I just got to a point where, like, I don't know how to say it, and I feel like a lot of people get this as well. It's like you're very restricted at 140 with the kind of content you can put out, because it's so little time in between each bar and stuff, which is good because it trains you, like, for flow and delivery and, like, you know, performance and stuff like that. But it got to the point where I just started moving on to doing more stuff on slower tempos, just because I could do, like, I could say more. Basically, I think, you know, as you grow or whatever, you have more to say and stuff. So I did all of that and heavily got into listening to a lot more hip-hop over grime, and it just got to the point where I'm, like, you know, fully transitioned. And also, one of my good friends that I used to make a lot of tracks with, here's the maddest thing, right? We started watching like old grind. We obviously, like, through school, like jump off battles were kind of happening like towards the end and stuff. Like, you used to come in and someone would be watching them and you used to watch through them and all of that sort of thing. But then I remember him being like, yo, you remember all those like jump off guys? I'm like, yeah, like, and he's like, yo, like, there's this thing called grind time now. Do you know what I mean? And so we used to watch all of those things just getting like bare baked and stuff. And the hilarious thing about that, like, this is the maddest thing for me, right? We made so much little tunes, or we just rapped all the time and so on and so forth. And we also, out, like a lot of people know me and animes. One of my, you can hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Your screen's a little bit laggy. No, there you go. It's perfect. It's back again. Let's do this. Carry on. All
right, cool. Yeah, so, like, as a lot of people know, like, I'm fucking kind of nerdy. I love my animes and stuff. We used to watch battles, animes, whatever sort of thing. And here's the link. If you've ever seen One Piece, the whole idea in One Piece is about following your dream, like it's a crew formed together of pirates who want to follow their dreams or whatever and so on. So we used to joke about, we'd be like, his whole thing is, I'm going to be the king of the pirates. So we used to be like, yo, we're going to be the king of MCs and shit, yeah? The hilarious thing about that is, like, we're watching, like, the old WRCs and shit with, like, Thesaurus and everything. And he's being like, yo, one day we're going to fucking battle these guys and prove ourselves and all of this shit, yeah? And I'm just like, we're all joking about that, you know, we're fucking high all the time, we're joking around about all these sort of things. But fast forward to now, and I'm kind of like, I've actually met half these people in the flesh and hung out with them on a level, and, like, do you know what I mean? And we went from fucking chilling in our room watching this shit, like, joking about how, one day we're going to be the best or blah, blah, blah. And then you fucking, I don't know if it's a subconscious thing or whatever, but I just pursued that, like, do you know what I mean? And got into it.
There with the best, man. You're
safe.
But you are. Let's be honest. Like, let's not fuck about it. We're on real talk. Let's talk the real talk. You know what I mean? From the story, that you're the same sort of story as Thirds. You've come right.
That's what I thought when I listened to Thirds' thing.
You get what I mean? Like, you deserve the respect that you've done that. You get what I mean? Starting from the bottom, where you're there battling, doing your mum joke thing and shit like that, as most battlers do. And I know you personally don't drop that many, but you get what I mean. To actually sitting there at the board table in your meetings and shit like that, you guys have, to being one of the bosses of the league.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. It is crazy.
It's a long way to come, man. And I certainly have a lot of time to talk to you and, like, pick up shit off you, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you've already taught me so much more shit than what I knew when I first started trying to organise my events and shit, man. So big up to you.
Yeah, no, but that's how it is. Like, I always try and help people if I can offer some sort of help and I got the time or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Because that's one big thing to me as well. The one thing I learned along my journey the whole way is there's so much things, and this kind of like it's a bit of a stem towards why I don't really like being classed under the whole UK hip hop fucking banner as a whole. I'm just a rapper from the UK or whatever. Is because there's so many people that wouldn't give me a shot or put me on, no matter how much you be in a cypher or whatever, and they're like, yeah, you're dope or whatever. Then when it comes time to do a collab or to get booked on their show or whatever, they never fucking actually give you the time. Too many people like that are in control of a lot of the states of the game in rap and hip hop on the whole don't want to give it up. Do you know what I mean? Especially not for the young people and stuff. Which is why anytime I come across someone, I'll always try and help them if I got some time and stuff, because that's the only way it's ever going to change, and that's how I see it. And that's the thing I love about Don't Flop as a whole. It's one of the biggest communities that is actually out there. It's not a bunch of people. As much as everyone wants to get somewhere, it's not about just fuck you, I'm gonna do this on my own. There's still a fucking group of people that still look out for each other. Like, look at C Major's EP release, and look how much people online right now have got his EP as their cover. When I go down my Twitter line, everyone's C Major right now, and it's beautiful to see something like that, because there's a lot of communities and a lot of movements that claim that they're down for each other, but at the end of the day, they want to leave everyone else in the dirt if they get the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And that's one thing. No matter how much everyone battles and chat shit about each other, when it's all said and done, we shake hands and we fucking push each other. And it is about being competitive, because that's the best way that you improve, by having good people around you and forcing each other to get better and stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly that, man. Exactly that. So let's move on to the EP. Let's have the crack of. Well, in fact, actually, no. Let's save the EP for before the competition.
Yeah. All right, cool.
So let's move on to the first event of the weekend, which is the Louis Daniels Cup.
Yep.
How much are you prepared for that, man?
Well, luckily I'm not playing, so I'm just going to be on the sidelines. And just chill. Like, do you know what I mean? I was initially going to play, and then I was just kind of like, oh, it's a bit of a hassle. I feel bad, because I was meant to be... I was brought in mainly to help out put together the Don't Flop team, and it's kind of like falling in on its face. A lot of the people that said they were going to play and stuff can't make it down now, and things like that. So it's going to be very interesting, to say the least, you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to it. Been to the other two games that have happened in the past, like, and it's always a fun day out. I'm always fucking amazed at how much, mainly when it was E&D playing as a team, how much they smoked and drank before playing, but still managed to play a full game of football. That shit is, like, inhuman, but it happens. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame that Villain's not going to be here, because he's gone on holiday, but... yeah, it's still going to be a good football match to watch and stuff, like, do you know what I mean? And to catch up with people before we actually get into a full weekend of battling, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing, and obviously you got the warm-up for Sunburn the same day. I'm guessing if I ask your opinions on the battles, I'm not going to get...
I always give my opinion, like, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
I don't want to force you, like, and get you in trouble with you being on the, like... Bored, you get what I mean? But
this is the thing that I hope people always remember when I'm doing this or whatever. Like, when I'm giving my opinion on something, that's me as a battler. It doesn't reflect a star view. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I personally think that someone is trash or if they're good or whatever, that's not going to affect if I need to give them a battle or an opportunity or something like that, because that would be unfair of me. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I have to.
This is Bamalam talking, not Don't Flop.
Exactly.
Joe Watts as it is for Don't Flop sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's start at the bottom of the warm-up card, because after last night's show and Tony D shouting this guy out as much, I've obviously got to have a little bit of respect for him. And that's the ghostwriter, as Tony D put it, Frankie Fraser versus Z. I know nothing about Z. I haven't managed to catch up on it.
I don't either. So I'll edge it to Frankie, because if he does what I think he's going to do, like bars wise, then he'll have it in the bag, because you can't really outright him very easily. But the thing that I've said to Frankie is, like, it's a case of performance that he has to step up. Do you know what I mean? He's got to make it have something that's going to be delivery wise, like, do you know what I mean, like something more memorable than previous battles, because you can't rely, like, and I've learned this the hard way as well. You cannot just rely on your bars in a battle. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more aspects to that. So, like, I will edge it to Frankie regardless, because I think, like, just generally he'll probably have, being in London as well, he'll probably have to edge against a guy from Scotland. But it will still take him to up his performance game to give a solid battle, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and next you got Jay Short and Wilsey.
That Jay Short is actually dope. Like, I think, like, he's taken the wrong approach a couple times in battles. Like, Wilsey's sick as well, but I feel that if he comes with doing sort of scheming and that sort of thing, like, Jay Short has the ability very easily to make people look stupid when he's actually on his game, and he has the freestyle aspect heavily, like, flipped wise and so on and so forth. But I feel if he does what, like, which I think he has done, taken time out to look at what he was doing wrong and apply himself in a manner. When you see it, he's actually better in his freestyle battles than he is in written battles, and that's just because he doesn't come across so. I don't know what the tone is. It's like he's more unlikable when it's written. It's not the same. He has a much more like likable character when he freestyles and stuff, because it's a lot more. He's in the moment and enjoying it, and not being like, oh, look how good I write, or blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? It just comes across a lot better, sort of thing. So yeah, I'd give the edge to Jay Short in that battle, and he's got the experience on his side, which people forget as well.
Cool. Next is Old English versus the Bolstog.
English has got that in the bag, like, easy. Like, I fuck with Bowski, but I think he's going to probably, this is his first chance against someone with bars. He's probably going to try and do, which you shouldn't do, if, like, you know, it's like when Big J tries to do bars as opposed to just naturally let good bars come out, sort of thing. And I think it can potentially not go down too well. If he just goes on his funny shit, he might actually edge it out. But Old English is really good in the sense that he can do bars, but then he also can just throw something really hilarious in there at the same time. So I'd probably edge that to Old English, or not even edge that. I say Old English has got that in the bag, as long as that battle plays out how I think it will.
Okay, and then we got the God versus Mr. High Rise himself, Flexplicit Joker Star.
Now, I don't like. No, Tally versus Flexplicit is out. Flexplicit has been improving heavily. Joker Star hasn't had a battle. What people forget, Joker's last few battles, him and Verb T versus Shuffle T and Marlowe, arguably they won that one. Like, you know, it depends what your preference is a little bit, but they really were some of the best two people to go at Marlowe, Shuffle and Marlowe. And his performance against Wizard, despite Wizard being hilarious, he was actually bringing like serious bars, and actually like he was going in again, and him against him as well, where he picked up the win against him. So I would give that, and you know, Joker's is a bet when it comes down to it. I would edge that out to Joker Star as long as he's applied himself again. I feel that Flexplicit is improving, and he's got a lot better, and it's also partly that the crowd accept him more now. But I think that Joker will take that.
Okay, so that's the warm up done, dusted. We'd be on to Sunburn, the main card.
Yep.
As already announced, obviously Sensor Yunnan is not going down.
Yeah, it is what it is. I was looking forward to that one personally, but you know, I'm sure it'll be rescheduled, so that's all good.
So I'm gonna just start at the bottom of the card and work up again. Enigma Lucky, Enigma versus Locksmith.
Woo! Right. I think it's a tough one. It's more Enigma really improved. Like, and when I'm doing this, I'm removing myself as an Ian Daniels member. Like,
okay.
Because
thank you.
The default answer would be to say that Locksmith's going to win, right?
Agreed.
But I would say that it's more Locksmith's battle to lose than it is like for Enigma's to win, if that makes sense. Like, Enigma is really good, but I think I don't want to be like if you're a rapper, but I think if you take the right approach and you have a more solid structure and you understand how, like, because Enigma takes a very long time to get to the point or to get to the punch every time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Locksmith is very much 2-bar, 4-bar setup, like just constant relentless punches, like very like talk to him sort of style, and also brings a lot of aggression sort of thing. So I think, depending on what Locksmith can actually think to talk about Enigma, he's probably he can edge it out. But if Enigma go like, you know, especially if Enigma just goes on shot tactics over an actual breakdown, or he's not just taking like 8 bars to get to a punch and stuff. So it can, you know what I mean? It's more locksmiths to lose than it is Enigmas to win, sort of thing. Because I think that Enigma, as much improvement as he showed, is still beatable for some of those reasons. Like, do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool. Raptor and Quill.
Whew. This one, again, this is like, it comes down to who's more motivated. Like, I feel like Quill feels like he's got something to prove, but then at the same time, I don't know how applied he's going to be to proving that point, because it's just Raptor. I don't know if he feels maybe that he can take it easy, but I don't think he'll want to, because it's like on the main stage, like, do you know what I mean, sort of thing. But at the same time, Raptor's coming off of a very sort of bad, to a degree, losing streak after being like kind of crowned this, like, you know, not a new hope, but like, you know, a lot of people really thought he was going to do well and especially smash all of his battles, and it's not been that easy for him. So, and considering that his last battle was on a very, very short amount of notice, I think he's going to take this very, very seriously. So I will put in the air. I just think, like, personally, that Rap doesn't always take as much angles, whereas Quill's one of the most creative writers when it comes to angles, like, out there. Like, especially, like, he thinks of shit that people, like, I'm like, how the fuck did you think of that for that person or whatever, do you know what I mean? So I will give it to Quill, down to experience and down to he'll probably have a completely new light on how to take Raptor out, sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, next one. Again, the E&D cap's got to come off. Tally versus Gem.
Even with it off, I edged that to Gemini. You've got to look at where they've both, like, do you know what I mean? Like, where they've both gone from when they've come into the league. Gemini is on a potentially unstoppable fucking winning streak right now. Tally showed a lot of promise, again, sort of like Raptor, but hasn't actually reached that. So maybe he might reach that potential, but I feel that it could be a little bit too late, whereas Gemini's got a full grasp of how to be a dope battler, and Tally started off looking like that he could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could be
there, but he's got to take the time to make sure he gets there.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'd still edge that to Gemini just because it's like, you know, he's on a winning streak for a reason, like, and I don't think he's gonna fucking just drop the ball. Like, do you know what I mean? He's on the big stage now. He's not gonna go easy. He's just gonna, like, just keep on that winning streak. Like, and the thing about when you're on a winning streak like that, from, like, you know, I went up to 9. Like, the thing about that is you're not even battling your opponent no more. You're battling yourself. You're battling your last performance each time. Do you know what I mean? And it's like someone like Tally, he's just like he's just taken loss. So yeah, he wants to, like, improve and stuff. But, like, you know, you're just trying to be better than how you were last time when you lost. Whereas Gemini's got to constantly keep upping his level against himself, which constantly makes you step it up, like, double each time, because it's not about who's in front of you. It's about how am I going to outdo what I did last time, and that fucking means that you're constantly, like, shocking the crowd with a new approach. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
So yeah,
we're getting questions left, right, and centre being pinged at me right now, so we might have to cut this talking about the card short.
Yeah, and we've got the competition in 2 minutes.
Man. We're not going to get through. The only other one I'll talk about then is because I want to hear your opinion on it, and I do want the E&D hat on this one. Tony D Double L. I want the E&D side and then the non-E&D side, man.
Right, well, the thing is, yeah, it doesn't matter E&D or not. It's like, whatever Double L said, like, regardless, like, Double L, I will consider him a good friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I can look aside of the fucking, like, pantomime in which battle rap is. You might say, fuck this. You know what? Like, at the end of the day, he done something to make himself very relevant at a very relevant point of time. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and, you know, he's gonna get what he's asked for, essentially, by battling Tony. He has been rising up very, very well, but I feel the problem with it is he might have taken Tone if Tone didn't care about the battle, maybe. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally, did not care, like, at all. But the fact of the matter is, Tony wanted to take this battle, which means it's a very dangerous Tony D you're going up against. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe if he turned up and he got real high and he did, like, a real deal performance because he didn't give a fuck about it or some shit like that, then you're gonna win. But other than that, if Tony says he wants a battle, and especially with what's been said, and he knows he's carrying the team on his shoulders in this battle, and he's battling in his hometown, and he knows that Double L's like potentially on the rise and like is getting a name for himself. If I was in his position, it's like I've got to stomp that out at all fucking like
all costs,
as
man.
much as
Sure,
do you know what I mean?
sure it stops,
Yeah.
Of course, man.
So like I feel like maybe Double would have won like maybe a bit longer down the line and if like Tony started to not care about battling or like that battle in particular and didn't feel inspired to write or something. And obviously if you're going at someone that is the champ and they're not inspired about you, but you're at a disadvantage if you're not inspired for a battle and the other person is, because they have more to gain anyway, then like then maybe I could edge it to Double L somehow. But Tone, like, I feel like when Tone battles, he's battling on like 50% at best most of the time because he knows how good he is. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we haven't seen his full potential really. He's never really had to bring it out. I think if he has to go on to battle Shotty, like if Shotty returns and that's the battle that happens.
I will kill someone to get to that battle if that battle.
But do you know what I'm saying?
But I physically do mean I will swim from Norway to Scotland and walk the rest of the way if I have to make to that battle.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like that. Maybe then you see Tony D at like 98% or something. But as it stands, I know it. He knows it. Like most people know it. Like he doesn't even need to go into he doesn't need to go Super Saiyan level 3. He's still beating them in fucking Kaioken mode. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's 3 levels below. Like, so that's how I see it anyway. Like. About that battle. But shall we take a break and we'll do this competition real quick?
Let's
I did
do
tell
a
people at 8.
competition thing, man, because it is 8 o'clock.
Alright. So, I'm going to flip the camera around. Hang on. So fiddly on the phone. Alright. So as we can see, I've got this makeshift fucking, like, one of them Wheel of Fortune or whatever the fuck you want to call it. We got the winner bar there, yeah? And we got all the winners, all the potential people in the draw on the hashtag like this. And it stops here where this picture of Chester Drawers is, happily for us, or luckily even. And I'm just going to get you to count down from 10, and I'm going to keep scrolling up and down on my mouse, and wherever the arrow lands, that's basically who's going to win the competition. If it lands between 2, then I'm going to try my best to get them both a ticket to Sunburn, split the beanies in half, and give them a t-shirt each. But like, hopefully it will land on 1. So on your count, like, we'll get this going.
Well, I'm actually putting my hands across my eyes.
Yeah, that's for the best.
I'm actually entered in this myself. So to prove that I'm not able to see, I have got my hands over my eyes, and I'm starting to count from 10 now.
Let's
10,
do it. This 9, is live.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Who's it going to be, mate?
We got a winner.
What?
Who is it?
What? It's Callum Martin. He can't enter. He's already got a free fucking ticket. We got to do this again. We'll do it 5. Why did you
magic,
enter, Callum?
You bastard.
See magic, you fucking bastard. He's always fucking shit up for me. What the fuck is this? Alright, one more time.
Okay,
right.
We go from 5 this time.
Yeah, let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, we have Henry J. Jackson, who entered 22 hours ago. You have officially won the competition. We got it right there. I'm sorry everyone that entered. We will be doing more shit like this through my channel and through Don't Flop. Like, we always do. I always give back to people. So I'll probably do another competition for the merch. But you yourself have won a ticket to Sunburn. And you have also won 2 beanies and a t-shirt. So fucking congratulations. I'm going to DM you. I'll follow you now. So, like, that's sorted. And yeah, and Callum Martin just tweeted me. Fuck you, Callum Martin. Anyway, we got that. We got that. I'm sorry to anyone that entered. There's a lot of people I know that really wanted it. But that's how it is. It's random. And blame Callum for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Callum.
Congratulations, Henry.
We don't like you no more. You keep trying to fuck up things.
I know. Stop fucking inboxing me, Callum. Stop this shit. No, I'm playing. I'll talk to you afterwards.
But congrats, fella, on winning.
Yeah.
I hope you actually enjoy that ticket, because I'm gutted I can't make the event myself too.
I know. If you could, I would have hooked you up anyway, man. You know what I mean?
I would have been in good hands. But so we've got about, I would say there's about 5 Twitter questions, about 20 Facebook questions, and people are actually Jesus Christ. Well, hold on. We got 43 viewers right now.
Straight up, man. They want to hear me talk shit about these battlers
you
right
can
now.
Come on more often, bro. Like, shit, I didn't even realise that until right now. And there's people asking questions like in the channel thing as well. So, I skipped that match. But starting on the first question on the YouTube, we have who you got winning Lego Ogmios.
Woo! See, this for me is a tough battle. I kind of hope that it's not judged. Like and another thing, if you are watching, let us know in general how you feel about if all these battles should be judged. Obviously, I don't feel that Tony D versus Double L can be judged because it's not a title match, and that's the only thing that should be judged if you were the champion, because it would create too much controversy, and you got to let the fans just argue about it anyway, as they would. So, I don't know, man. Like, Ogmios, like, for us, is a very, like, take it. I got lucky beating him when I did, because he took some really bad angles, and that was probably his worst battle against me. His worst battle was against me. Ever since that point, and before that point, he's pretty much unbeatable. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's all of the things that you want to say about him has been said, but at the same time, someone like Lego could completely reinvent the kind of angles on Ogmios anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he can do it in a way that's fucking going to be technically sound, in the way that it's written, the way that it's delivered, and also it will probably end up having you in stitches by the end of it as well. So it's a tough one. And I can just see Ogmios, like, I can't edge it to either one, and that's not me being like, you know what I mean? That's literally like, other than Lego versus Ogmios, the most perfect battle I'd really want to see Ogmios in at this time is like Ogmios versus like Calcium Kid. And it's the same sort of thing. Like, I just couldn't pick a winner, but they'll both just have some amazing shit. I can see Ogmios doing some sort of amazing Legos, like, just the most outside of the box fucking approach to doing something about Lego, and, like, you know, using it as a reflection of, like, you're like I don't even want to fucking predict, but I can see, like, him doing something about, like, you build up to a, like, you're like a 5-year-old with a box of you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
something that's just so like yeah, like, just you go, wow, how the fuck did you think of that sort of thing? But so yeah, that's what I honestly, like, I leave that one to people to decide themselves. I don't want to call it. I hope that it's not a judge battle, because I think they'll both win it in some way, and you can't really put a judge on it. But I don't know. We'll see, innit? I could be proven wrong. It's tough for Lego, though, because it's his return, do you know what I mean? And he hasn't battled in a while, and it's a little bit of like, it's kind of like, I don't even want to say, people will probably get pissed off at me or whatever, but it's like, Lux versus Mook, right? That's a perfect example of, like, two people that they may have been amazing at some point. Like, do you know what I mean? They were amazing at some point. But as it stands in the current climate of battling, some of the shit and approaches that they're saying and stuff, like, it just seems very, very outdated to a degree, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's what people are saying about Universe Censor, in a way, that it's like this kind of old school approach, or like, which I love at the same time, but I just feel like Lego's going to have to modernize himself to a degree. His style is timeless, but he's still going to have to keep it current and relevant for it to work. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Okay, cool. Next question. Why is Dino Hunter? Why Dino Hunter is so good?
Is this Callum Martin?
Just literally, yeah.
It's Callum Martin.
I was told to ask you anonymously, but obviously you already know.
It's definitely Callum Martin.
So.
Well,
sorry, bro.
Here's the thing, Callum. We spoke about this game yesterday. If you haven't downloaded it, it's a free game on your iPhone, right? I like the game. It's fucking sick. You go around shooting dinosaurs in a hunting simulator type situation, but the bad thing about it is you feel bad because you're like, oh my god, I've found a dinosaur. I should probably call like RSPCA or something to come and take this, get it into the zoo because it's endangered and shit. But no, I'm just going to blast it with the biggest rifle I have in my collection. So it's a bit of a fucking, if you feel how I do about animals, especially endangered / extinct, don't even live anymore, it's a bit of a fucking, like, question on my morality as a person. But it is what it is, do you know what I mean? It's a fucking good, they better pay me for this shit. Dino Hunter, go to your apps, download it. If you think it sucks, fucking at me, at Joel Watts, at Oil City Battles. Let us know if you enjoyed the game or not. That's a plug for free right there. Moving on. Fuck you, Callum.
Okay, Adam Anderton has asked if you could set up your own 6-battle event, unlimited budget. Which battles would you put on?
I would put Lunacy and Blizzard and Shorty Horror in a 3-way battle to shut everyone the fuck up about that situation, because those 3 names get. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's an unlimited budget, I will pay them whatever just so we can get it out of the way, right? That's done. Like, we don't need to talk about it anymore. Sorted. Like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't even want to put it on, but I put it on for the sake of it. As far as it goes, though, like I'm saying, I don't think all the time. Like, I'd as it currently stands, I put Big K versus Wizard in the battle, which is probably not even that unrealistic, but it's one that I'd love to see at this current point in time. I would also put on Shuffle and Marlowe versus Ilmac and Thesaurus, because again, it's just something I really want to see. And yeah, the whole Ogmios versus Calcium Kid. I know I'm not being too creative and like, oh my god, what about like Lux versus whoever or blah blah blah. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about shit that I'd really like to watch at this current point in time. I'd probably say like Lux versus Shotty, or Lux versus Tony, one of those two, just to show him that, like, you know, no battler is unbeatable. And, you know, like, it doesn't matter how much you get paid or whatever, like, it's about ability in the ring and blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, if you're losing to bars like Hypocritical and whatever, like, you got to reconsider things. And fans as a whole have got to reconsider things and stop blindly defending half these people that are so highly put up on a pedestal and blah, blah, blah. So I'd throw one of them together. And I would fucking put... I don't know, it's tough, you know? Like, as much as Disaster is being outcast or whatever, I would love to put Disaster in a situation against... I don't know, Disaster versus someone like Shotty, like, even though it's happened, I mean, in the current climate, that would be dope. Hollow the Don versus Tony D in a mirror match would be dope. Just, you know, I just have fun with it. It'd just be some battles that I'd want to see. But also, no, Hollow versus, like, Tony would be a dope match. And, like, people would be like, oh my god, they look almost just like the US versus the UK version. Blah, blah, blah. Tony would edge that out. It'd be a sick battle. Actually, no. As far as Tony goes, I'd probably pay for a fucking Real Deal rematch. Do you know what I mean?
No,
because
I don't know why it'd be a rematch. I kind of discarded that. That battle never happened, bro. That's
exactly.
Gonna happen for
Exactly.
the first time.
Exactly. Like, do you know what I mean? Just because I felt kind of is upsetting as it is. It was like a robbed opportunity, you know. Like, really wanted to see that go down properly, sort of thing. And I think Real Deal is an amazing battler. Like, he's a really, like, as far as like getting at someone, like, do you know what I mean? Like, with like just that real talk, sort of like just break you down, like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's one of the best out there, like, as it stands in doing that. Like, and just the way he puts it all together and stuff, he's really good. Like, you know what I mean? So just throw all of those sort of names about and you'd have some sort of top 6. I can't really think of 100% off the top, but, you know, some of the stuff I just said, that would happen.
Yeah, cool. So we're on to the Twitter questions now.
Yeah.
What is your dream UK versus UK matchup? If you could have any of them.
I asked the guy about this earlier as well, and he said, firstly, if it was me or whatever, as it currently stands, I really wanted to battle Euphorical at Sunburn. It would have tied into the Don't Gas versus E&D situation as well perfectly. Not really too inspired for any other battles. I just really want to do that one, especially because it was longed out. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, well, let's fucking do it. Like, is what it is. He's taking a break. UK. I honestly, Calcium Kid versus Ogmios is just. I don't know why.
Like you've got to make it happen, bro. Like, it sounds
I'm
like
gonna
that
have to at
battle's
some
gonna
point.
have to happen.
It's just hilarious to me, man. They're just both so outside of the box, but so good at what they do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I'm so upset that Daylight versus Calcium Kid never went down as well, man. That would have been insane. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I really rate Calcium Kid, like, sort of thing. But maybe my dream UK battle might, other than that, probably be along the lines of Soul versus Tony D. You know, like, that to me is like just crazy. Despite what people may feel about Soul versus Ark or whatever, like, I know Soul has the potential, and he's still fucking ill. Even all of his setups are like punches / references and all it, like, it's crazy. Like, the way his mind thinks when he puts this shit together is like a next level. And I feel, again, it's the sort of battle where you see it would force Tony to actually have to bring out more of his potential, which a lot of the time I think battles don't do to him. Do you know what I mean? So they'd be my two like ideal matches to watch at this current point in time.
Okay, next question is from Michael Wallace at Mickey W on Twitter. He asks, when Shotty returns, should he have to work his way up like all newcomers, or should he just be put back into the top tier contender bracket?
I don't think you could put Shotty on a tryout event. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be like, oh, in your tryout, by the way, Shotty Horror. Sorry about that. It is what it is.
You just wouldn't get anyone turn up for it, would you? Let's be honest.
Exactly. They wouldn't do it. But, like, you know, I feel you can't deny. This is the thing that people forget. You can't deny it. Maybe he hasn't been battling for the league, but as far as it stands, he is a top tier battler. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the global sense, or in the sense of the country, he's a top tier battler. So you can't deny someone, oh yeah, sorry mate, I know that you've battled X, Y, Z and blah blah, but you got to go back down there with the tryouts now. It just doesn't work like that regardless. Do you know what I mean? So in answer to that, I would keep him at the level he's at, because you wouldn't want to see anything else. Why would you want to see him versus a supposed mid tier or a lower tier or something like that? It makes no sense. So yeah.
Could you not, like, from my point of view, obviously, like, we know that he's good at the shit he does, you know what I mean? But could he not, like, possibly elevate a couple more of the mid-tierers, or the top mid-tier, like, the hot top bracket, you get what I mean?
Yeah, he could. That's the thing. I feel like there's mid-tier and then there's a high mid-tier. And when you're a high mid-tier, I'd say someone that, like, people might argue in places or whatever, but, like, you know, I'd say, like, Old was in that bracket of a high mid-tier not too long ago, you know? And then you put him against someone like Soul, and then he puts on a battle, or they put on a battle as they do, and you go, hang on, this guy can actually kick it with people on a top tier sort of level. Yeah. So, like, I think, yeah, that is the case, but I don't think that Shotty, like, you know, he'd have to be battling in there, like, for a little while with everyone else, because, you know, it's like, it's also from a fan perspective. You don't want to see him versus someone that's just, unless they're really good. Like, you know, I could see, like, if Raptor keeps going on the way that he does, a lot of people would be like, I want to see Raptor versus Shotty. Do you know what I mean? Like, in like maybe a year, half a year or something's time down the line, it would get to especially them both being from Manchester and so on and so forth. You could see people being like, I want to see him prove himself and go up and battle someone like that. Like, do you know what I mean? But it depends more on the opponent than where Shotty's at. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Have they earned that sort of shot? And it's not just against Shotty. It's the same for putting someone against Tony, or like I'm saying, Soul or Ark or anyone in that sort of bracket. Like, do you know what I mean? It's more about, have they been consistent enough and been proven? Are they starting to seem a little bit like a big fish in a small pond in their tier bracket? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. When do we move them over and see if they survive with the sharks or whatever? Like,
drop them into the big fish tank and see if they
get exactly. Exactly.
That's the part and parcel of it, man, and that's why you guys that are organising it, like, sometimes you get too much shit because you guys have got to think about the whole battle of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just the little part. Sorry, I'm getting Twitter questions left, right, and centre right now. Let's jump to, where was it? At Scorch, Beatbox has asked, what do you think of the Beatbox battles, and do you think it's good for the DF scene?
I think the whole point is that we're in a climate now for battling where, I don't want to say a cappella battles have got stale, because they're still, most of the time, unless you put two stale battlers in a battle, the battle is always going to be stale. Other than that, a cappella battling is where it's at. It will always be like that. But on top of it, you've got to look into the other elements. There's other things that people enjoy. Rapping comes from a form of music. Like, do you know what I mean? It's an art form. It's a music. Like, it's a type of music. Beatboxing, it has its place. Like, I think the thing that's really interests me yes, I'd like to see more beatbox battles. Like, you know, you could easily throw one on a card, like along with everything else. In the same way that it'd be good to see like one or two beat battles on every event as well, because the on beat battles like are really, it's not, people want to be like it's the next evolution of battling. No, no, no. We started on beats. Do you know what I mean? People used to battle on beats all the time, and the problem is you can't engage it as much as you like. Like you need both. You need both of them, because there's people now. You would never have someone like Shuffle or Marlowe, like, or even Ogmios wouldn't do as well in the beat battle as he would getting to perform how he has to perform. So you can't fucking cut that out, because there's a big reason why it is how it is. But at the same time, you can make room and accommodate for everything, because, you know, it's great having the more musical aspect as well, and it proves a lot of the time, a lot of people want to prove, oh, I'm a real rapper, so it gives them that outlet to prove that they can rap on a beat as well as a cappella and so on and so forth. But, like, I just feel, yeah, that, like, you just got to have it open to everything. I think it would be great to do something like where you have, like an MC and a DJ, and the DJ has, you know, they've got 2 minutes, and the DJ's fucking switching beats up left, right, and center, and the MC's just riding over all of them, and do that for 3 rounds. Or the same with a beatboxer and an MC, where they can keep switching up the beats and the tempos and stuff on the spot, and the MC can prove like their skill set, and so can the beatboxer or the DJ. Like all of those things, there's a lot of space for all of that in battle rap. Do you know what I mean? It's just about making it all balanced out. So it's just about whatever it is you're doing as a battle, it has to be good. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel anyway. It's got to be. It doesn't matter. Like you could fucking have a sing battle, but as long as it's good, it's always there's always going to be a space for it. Do you know what I mean?
Was good, except for Bowski. I think he got a bit confused on who he was actually battling.
Yeah, 100%.
That was the only
but like that was
downside of that battle to me.
That was great, and also like when you do like a guitar battle, like we've had 2, and what always happens is one of them just wants to be a battler more than a fucking a guitar. Like, do you know what I mean? And they say, "Oh, I'm not even going to really use my guitar for this round." It's like, no, bruv, you've turned up with a guitar in your hands. You need to play and rap. That is the point in it. Do you know what I mean? Don't turn up. If you want to try out, just try out without your guitar. Do you know what I mean? But don't be, I'm going to fucking uneven the playing field just by rapping on you while you actually sing and rap and do your little guitar piece at the same. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that really annoys me about those battles. But you can do it so it's like, so it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's, I think, no matter what it is, you can fucking have, like, one thing I think we've always wanted to do is Blizzard plays piano, and so does Most Prob, and to do like a piano rap battle. Like, do you know what I mean? Like something like that. Yeah. As long as the outcome is good, it works. But if it's just it's all down to the people that you involve and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's what it is. There's always a place as long as it's good.
All right. So someone's messaged me asking me to ask what your favourite demo channel battle is from last week. Now, I didn't want to ask that because there's only one demo channel battle from last week, but I want to ask you personally who you think choked the most in that battle, just so we get it to something that we want to talk about. Sorry,
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure like that Danny Jax was better, and then he choked in a choke battle, so therefore he lost. I think the real winner of that battle is myself for Cooling Time on Max Sherry early, because what he actually did afterwards was not needed.
You would have saved him.
Yeah, if he just listened, it would have been fine. But instead, he wanted to be like, "Oh no, let me get these bars out." And then he thought it was a singing battle, and he can't even sing. So what's going on there? Do you know what I mean? You signed up for the wrong battle, mate. It's a choke battle. Like, don't fucking sing. Here's a song from an old blind man. No one wants to hear that shit. So anyway, save for the question, Danny. My favourite demo battle, I think, is probably Cron versus Im, where Cron is probably the most outrageous he ever is, as normally as he is, and he's pretty outrageous most of the time with the things that he says, but he fucking goes off on Islam in that so badly, and it's the only demo battle which is like 100,000 views on the demo channel, and it's an amazing battle, and the only reason I think it wasn't main channel is because it was so offensive to a whole religion.
Okay. At Daniel Birch 143 is so desperate to get this question asked that he's asked us on Twitter 3 times, the YouTube page a couple of times. So I think I better ask it. Do you think it's possible for a rapper from the UK to get the same success from the USA, i.e., the Eminems and the Packs of the world? Do you think that a UK person could make it to that level?
Yeah, you know, I think comes down to your sense of marketing and a team you have behind you and how much of a buzz you have over here and then how much they market you over there as something special from a different country and blah, blah, blah. But I think it is possible. I think, yeah, it really just depends down to like, it depends, it's down to like your, how well you translate over there as well. Do you know what I mean? Which is a big aspect to it and stuff. But the thing about getting big in America, which I think a lot of people forget, is you can sell #1 in one state. And that state might be bigger than the whole of the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't even need to sell in the other, however many other states. You're doing good off of, you're getting a name for yourself. You're getting enough followers and fans and blah, 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 and enough money in your pocket and for your team from one state. So if you can translate, not just, even if you probably started off in one state as a UK person, like, but working out of here, but focusing in on one place, like, and then manage to monopolize across the board, like, then yeah, you can, like, do you know what I mean? But it's just about cracking the code and having the right kind of team behind you, and, you know, the state of music and stuff as it is now. A lot of people would rather go independent anyway, and I think if you're doing that, you kind of not limit yourself, but, you know, there's loads of people that are big over here that aren't big over there in the sense of, like, just being rappers or artists and stuff, but, yeah, you do really need, it's all about having that major label backing, but obviously people are so not scared, it's more aware of how ripped off you can be from working with big labels that you don't want to do, like, do you know what I mean? They don't want to take that plunge anymore, like, sort of thing. It's like Dizzy did pretty well out there, like, in general, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, since they're all spamming us questions now, let's just give a big shout out to soapbox.co.uk so that they all feel that they've had their genuine shout out and stuff like that.
Okay, no, let's shout out Soapbox, yeah. You know,
Because
I'll be spamming the shit out of it on Sunday evening when I get back from Sunburn, but I actually have a session from the EP for one of them days, which is the first track on the EP. It's a studio session. I watched it earlier. It's fucking sick. It looks really good. I'm really happy with it. It will be out this Sunday the 20th, probably in the evening, I think. I'm not too sure. But I will be promoting that. Hopefully you can post it up on your page as well, and everyone will get to see it.
You know the routine. You know the routine.
Yeah. Thank you. So, but thank you to the guys out there, man. You know, and I got a lot of love for them, man, because they really helped me out by doing that, and they didn't need to, and they generally do everything they can to support the scene. Do you know what I mean? Which is great, and that's what I love about it. There's so much people that just want to help out. Shout out people like Read Between the Bars as well, like yourself, obviously. So much people. There's so much people that just all help, and they all just want to be involved, and that's the beauty of it. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's a huge community, and everyone wants to get what they want out of it, but at the same time, they just want to be a part of it, and that's why it keeps growing in every country that is big. And like, not even big. It starts off small and it gets bigger, and everywhere you go. Do you know what I mean? So,
a last question, because we're starting to reach that barrier that we set up, man. It's nearly that hour barrier. So the last question goes to our boy Callum, who we've already swore a lot about. Since he's the last question, I can't help it. Is C Magic quite possibly the best judge to ever bless the scene?
No, MA will always be in my books. Apart from G Dash, the thing is, I would have loved personally. Sorry, Callum, but I would have loved G Dash to take over when MA left as the main judge. But I think the biggest thing about that is he can't always be at all of the events and stuff like that. But I just never find myself disagreeing with what they have to say, and even if I do, the way they explain their reasoning, I think that's the biggest thing, because at the end of the day, being a judge in battle rap is down to your personal opinion. It also does count. Both MA and G Dash, they were both involved. Like, that's what you gotta remember. Like, which is a key thing since since Jump Off days. So their knowledge and understanding of battling, they've watched it grow. They understand what makes a good hit, what isn't a good hit when it comes to a hit count, or why even if it didn't hit hard enough, the scheme was so well formed and technically sound, or all of those aspects that a lot of people don't think about when judging, and they never swayed either. They will always say what they thought when it comes down to it. Do you know what I mean? Like they are too like I'm only talking UK. I can't talk about US 100% because I don't have the greatest knowledge about every single like battle that like someone like Direct. He's quite a solid judge. But I can't tell you 100% everything he's done. Like, do you know what I mean? Or like if he's got it right in most cases or blah blah. But I can with G and MA, and that's what I think. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of forget when they are judging and stuff. Even if you're going to say it, don't just be like, oh, I think blah, blah, blah won because I gave him round 1 and I gave him round 2, so it's a 2-1 split. No, talk about your reasoning. And that's one thing I always do when I judge a battle. It's just like, explain why. Because at least if you explain your thought trail, the worst you're going to get from the comments is, well, I don't agree with him, but I see how he got there with that explanation. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you need. You need a clear-cut like decision in your head, and you need to translate that to people and stuff. And MA caught a lot of hate just because he didn't go with what someone else thought was their opinion of a battle, and that's wrong in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all it comes down to. You're not a wrong judge if you judge what someone else thinks is the wrong answer. Do you know what I mean? You can only give your opinion. I would love for there to be, let's end on this, because I said this after the whole Diz and Math situation and stuff. I would love for there to be a unity between the biggest leagues out there, like Don't Flop, URL, and King of the Dot, and UW, because they've really come up and gotten some amazing stuff, do you know what I mean? But I'd say they are the current on top of everything and the global connection. If there was something where you had like a fucking G20 but for like battle rap, which decided things like when Math was talking about having a scoring system and things like that, if there was some way to completely transform this way more into like a sport that was recognized by the fans and the battlers as, yo, this is how you judge a battle, and this is, like, it's something like, did this situation happen? Everyone could be in agreement, no one's going to let this guy battle unless he meets these demands, and did all of that sort of thing. Then we could push it into, because, football, no matter where you go, or any sport, there's still basically a set of rules and a formula to it and stuff that people agree on, you know what I mean? Like, and that's how it becomes a sport, and that's how it sets the precedent for everyone else to follow it as well and stuff. And I don't know how we achieve that. It's really hard, but stuff like the King of the Dot, DF beef, that's fucking not even just the treaty shit that Shuffle and Marlowe pulled in that bowler battle, but I mean, like, generally it doesn't exist most of the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, the tensions and stuff that the fans want to see, because they treat it like wrestling and so on and so forth, and they just want it to be drama and they want it to be gossip and whatever. It's not about to divide. It's actually about the unity, and that's what they don't see a lot, especially if you're just on your computer watching it from your computer and following half the shit that gets said on Twitter and stuff. If you come to an event and you realize it and you see these people, you see the unity and you see the jointness, and I think, like, that's what it needs to be. I'd love for it to be like that in the next few years, to the point where we've got, it's not a fucking sport per se, but it takes so much from it. It's like fucking, I don't want to say lyrical boxing, but you know what I mean? That's what it is to a degree. Like,
yeah, of course,
like, it's a fight of words, and if there was a way to set a precedent of like general rules and blah blah, I think it would actually, and like I'm saying, situation like that Diz thing or whatever. Like, there's loads of other things as well. I mean, even stuff like when it came to like Total sort of trying to move in, there was a unity between all of the leagues, and you could just be like, no mate, you sign these contracts with us and blah blah. But obviously, battlers are free agents anyway. But like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There'd be a lot more control from everybody as a whole, and it would help the scene a lot more, sort of thing. So yeah, that's what I'd like to end on. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. But we are past the deadline, so I understand you've got things to do. Fuck off, Big J. We all know you shit. So I just had to do that from Twitter. I love you, bro, dearly, but we all know that everyone thinks you shit anyway. But we all love you for that. But thanks for coming on. Any shout outs you want to do?
Like I said, shout out Soapbox, Don't Flop. Shout out yourself, Oil City Battles. Like, I can't wait to actually come out and battle in the league, like, cause I said I'd do it, and I don't battle as much anyway, but I cannot wait for that, like, do you know what I mean? And to actually chop it up in person and so on and so forth is going to be dope. 26th of July, like, also shout out Patrick and Cystic and Last Resort and the whole of Ian Daniels, anyone that's fucking supported me to get my EP to where it is. It'll be out 26th of July on brightsides.com, which will be released on the same day, and it's going to be a free download, which is the best thing for everyone. And also, while you wait for that, show support for the battlers that have music out there. There's some great fucking EPs like Naturals EP, Lefties EP. Most recently, obviously, is C Major's EP, which you can get from cmajor.co.uk. The recent High Rise mixtape, the original Ian Daniels EP, which you can get on iTunes. Just search Ian Daniels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're all over the place. All these EPs,
exactly.
Bandcamps. All you got to do is go and look for these people. I
exactly.
personally find them all because I put them all down on the YouTubes, man. You get what I mean? On anybody
yeah.
that I've had on, you guarantee if you've got an EP down there, I've got it now. You get what I mean? But that's because I've had to do the hassle of finding all this shit in the first place.
And if it's free and it says donate your price, if you're in a position where you can pay something, because a lot of people don't realise, like, as much as we can pay the battlers and support them when we can when they battle and stuff, if someone's taking the time out to put together a piece of music, that is studio time, that's paying for the videos, it's a lot of stuff, do you know what I mean? And we as artists understand that you can't always pay because you might be in a situation, and that's why we put it out for free, so you have the option. But if you've just got paid or something like that and you can donate something, like, do it, because that's how we support the scene and it grows bigger. And if you want to hear more music from these people anyway, that's the only way you're going to hear it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So fucking, yeah, peace and love to everyone. Like, shout out Oil City Battles and Tony Ray, the man himself, for getting me on today. Like, yeah, big up for that, fam.
Yeah, cool. I'm just going to give one shout out because we haven't mentioned them today, and that's one of my local groups, Corna Bros. Everything we're doing together, guys, is going to smash it. And yeah, big up everyone that's been involved. Thank you to everyone that's watched tonight. Bam, you brought some viewers, my bro, is all I can say. You definitely brought
It's all good.
Viewers.
Subscribe to the channel, people. Who's on tomorrow? We got Tally and Dialect,
tomorrow night,
right?
we got the Abomination guy, Dialect.
The Abomination.
Yeah, he's coming. And Tally's coming with him. So make sure to tune in the same time tomorrow night. 7:30 UK time, 8:30 my time because I'm in Norway.
Yep.
And thank you for letting us do our damn thing. And that's us out.
Alright, peace.